Here's me elbow deep in the TRX 70 engine for the third time because I thought I could do a quick and dirty rebuild. I was wrong. A little bit of a backstory to before I was filming things with the intentions on making YouTube videos. December 2024, my older brother gave me my childhood four-wheeler, the very four-wheeler that I learned to ride on at 5 or 6 years old. Here's my son at 5 or 6 years old. Him and I are now in these pictures tearing it down, getting the pieces into different groups, separating the steel and the aluminum pieces so we can sandblast. And then powder coat. I learned to powder coat. I didn't want to spray paint anything on this. I've used spray paint on a lot of things before. In this situation, I already knew the spray paint was not going to hold up. I wanted something a little bit tougher. Something that was going to last at least a decade. There I left him a little note, so someday 30 years from now when he's doing this very same thing, restoring his childhood four-wheeler, he'll get to find that, and it'll be pretty special. So yeah, everything got powder coated. I wish I learned to powder coat years ago. It's so easy. As long as you clean the parts and degrease them, I think it's easier than spray painting. I recommend that everybody learns to powder coat. In a picture coming up, you'll see that it has brand new fenders. Those are aftermarket fenders. They were $500. I don't know that they were worth $500. They're kind of brittle. They don't really fit that great. You have to make them work. So here it is running again for the first time after being put back together. It ran good, but it did smoke. There was blow-by. So that coming winter, I ordered, at the time, a Chinese rebuild kit off eBay because I couldn't find a quality top-end rebuild kit. I could never get that eBay top-end rebuild kit to run correctly on my four-wheeler. So that's when I found Vintae Honda Minis. Josh, the owner, he told me why the eBay kit wasn't gonna work. And he said, send me all your original parts. I'll refinish them, bore and hone the cylinder, redo the head, fit a new piston and ring set to your cylinder, which he did. The communication with him was great. He did everything in a timely manner, and I couldn't be happier. For those of you who are familiar with the TRX 70 engine, you're about to notice that I don't have the flywheel off, and that's because the first time I take something apart, I use a technical manual to make me aware of any sneaky fastener or sneaky trick to getting something apart so I don't break something. The second time I take something apart, if I think I can do it faster and just as good, I will. And I discovered that I don't need to remove the flywheel to get the timing set. So that's why you see the flywheel still on. I'm also using a piece of 030 MIG wire to pull that cam chain up through the head. I forgot to send this part out. This is the cover for the cam and the rockers on top of the head. If I sent it out to Josh, he would have given it the factory finish. So that's too bad, but I gotta remember, the purpose of this build was to give this four-wheeler a brand new life without being perfect. Because I want my kids to ride this thing just as hard as I did when I was their age, and I hope they do. I hope they get as much fun out of it as they can, and in 30 years, they can restore it all over again. Doesn't like going. Nope. Guess we're not trying that one. I later realized that spark plug wasn't even for the 70. I'm pretty sure that was for the old man's lawnmower, so he'll be looking for that one. You see that? Pretty good spark. A little in there. Oh, too much. Whoa! Come on. Let's go. Oh. I went with an aftermarket tank, as you saw, that plastic tank. I did epoxy the original tank and gave it a tank liner on the inside, but after a while it leaked anyways. So I get this plastic tank and here I am boring out the front fender so that the filler neck would fit through it. The brackets I'm hitting now on the anvil came with the fender kit, the aftermarket fenders. They were originally for the lower fender mount, but I didn't like them. You have to push on your fenders too hard to get them to even come close. This brittle aftermarket plastic won't last long being forced into position. So I'm going to repurpose them for the upper fender mounts due to the fact that 90-degree bend in the plastic there to mount to the frame was already cracked. So now I'm going to get some scrap steel to make some new lower fender brackets. Where is the other piece? Yeah, nobody will use these now. I'm pretty sure that these two pieces here are the only thing on the entire four-wheeler with a quick and dirty paint job. These little plastic push fasteners have grown on me, so I decided to use them here, and I'm glad I did. if you want these aftermarket fenders to work with your four-wheeler, you're gonna have to make some custom brackets because things just don't line up. All right, let's get this thing off the bench again for its first test ride. So there it is, the TRX 70 is running again. The kids are happy, I'm happy. I hope they run that thing just as hard as I did, me and my brother and all my cousins. We ran that little four-wheeler pretty hard. We learned a lot of fun tricks. We learned how to get stuck. We learned how to get unstuck. We learned how to do bicycles and wheelies and everything else.
Yay! Get on and hold on to me tight. Hold on tighty.
Funny story, when I was about my kid's age, my brother and I had the great idea to teach my younger cousin how to ride this very four-wheeler. He got on it, we told him just put it in first gear and lightly push the throttle. So he got on it, he put it in first gear and he put the throttle as far as it went. He took off, we couldn't catch him. He was heading right for the aluminum swing set in my uncle's yard. He hit that thing head on and uprooted the swing set, tipped it right over backwards. He was fine. He made it out without a scratch. I'll never forget that. Now it's time to take care of these $100 paperweights, which worked far better as rocks than they ever did as engine parts. The old thumb on the excavator has been known to break rocks, so I think it can handle some Chinesium.